I took off, all the while hearing that laughter echoing all around me, surrounding me. He finally spoke, and what he said still creeps me out.
Welcome to Eerie Files. Do you believe?
I come from a place where there are more farms than malls. The kind of place where everyone went to the high school football game on Friday night, and we're all at church early on Sunday morning. It's the blueprint of Americana. I loved it here. It's my heart. So it was bittersweet that it was my last summer here before going off to college on a science scholarship, trading in hay bales and perfect sunsets for palm trees and textbooks. Every year the county fair swings through our town. It was always a highlight for me, and I mostly have fond memories of my time going to them. What happened to me changed that. It changed me, and the many things I had once believed impossible. This particular night, it was me, my boyfriend Jonathan, and my best friend Anne. I was happy Jonathan was never upset when Anne tagged along. He was always good with stuff like that. Still is. This was the 90s, so on the way to the fair we were blasting a mix of some of the best Seattle-based bands at the time. Walking in, you're immediately met with the good kind of chaos, a battalion of bright lights, the special lingo hollered from the carnies, and the roars of the roller coaster speeding on the tracks. I'm a bit of a thrill seeker, so those are definitely my go-to. There was a ride on the other side of the park called Hell Canyon, or something to that effect, that I wanted to try, but no one else was interested. So I told them I'd meet them both back by the balloon dart game when I was done. I gave my ticket to the ride jock and took my seat. Sitting 2 rows in front of me, by himself, was this clown. Kind of odd, but workers could enjoy the attractions as well, I guess. I didn't like clowns, never have, but I tried my best to just ignore it. The ride started, and so did the excited butterflies. As we reached the peak, immediately before the descent, the clown turned and stared at me. Great. Typical clown. White face, fake round red nose, multicolored curly wig, and a huge red lipstick smile painted widely over its mouth. But its eyes. It was the eyes that spooked me. They were all black, like a raven's. I could almost see myself in their absence. Through each wild turn, through every high-speed plummeting drop, he stayed facing me, stoic, grinning. The ride ended and I quickly exited. The clown was still in his seat, staring at where I once was. Slowly, he turned his head and once again was looking in my direction. He then put his right hand under his chin, his elbow resting on the swing bar, and gave an exaggerated aw shucks expression. I started to make my way back in a hurry. I looked to my right and then to my left, and about 10 feet away, there he was, the clown. Walking at my same pace, but with his head turned, his attention only on me, exaggerating a fake laugh, moving seamlessly through the crowd. Fight or flight mode kicked in, and I pivoted sharply down another path. I stopped briefly and turned around to see if I was followed. Maybe I was just being paranoid. But then, from around the corner, doing a flawless cartwheel, the clown was across from me, yet again. He raised his hand up, paused, and waved at me enthusiastically, all while painfully grinning ear to ear. Strangely, no one was interacting with him. I started to wonder if I was hallucinating somehow, but every area I went to, he was there. This couldn't be possible. As a science major, I'm all about facts. This didn't add up. I maneuvered down another aisle full of games on each side, through the sea of patrons, like a hunting shark. Once again, the clown was there, miming all sorts of things, putting on a show just for me. Everyone seemed to be moving faster around us, but him and I were locked in, like some dark, comical standoff. Any direction I moved, he mirrored it. This seemed like a game for him, part of some demented performance. I started gradually walking backwards, but the clown stayed steadfast in his position, so I promptly turned and bolted, not looking back this time. I have never ran so fast in my life, the wind in my hair like a jet stream. I came across a building around the corner and hid in an employees-only hallway. Trying to catch my breath, I thought to myself, how cliche. I'm at a county fair, separated from my group, and I'm getting chased by a clown. At this point, I could only hope I was the final girl, and not part of the bloody opening scene. Faint hints of music floated from the other end of the dark hallway. As the volume increased, I could tell it was old-timey carnival music, fitting. I stared into the darkness, the pipes of the organ, and the notes of the piano scurrying rapidly closer. The music got louder, finally in tune with the beat of my nervous heart. Then, out of the shadows, like a raving lunatic, the clown burst through. fully charging at me. His real grin now almost the size of his fake one, laughing manically, drool spilling out. He galloped ahead, progressing urgently. I took off, all the while hearing that laughter echoing all around me, surrounding me. He finally spoke, and what he said still creeps me out. He sang, "Abigail!" I ran even faster. The exit was so close, but I wasn't confident that I would make it. He was right behind me now, and as I felt his hand reach my shoulder, I jumped out the door, slamming it behind me. I backed up slowly, trying to catch my breath, waiting for the clown to come busting out. Then suddenly, I was grabbed from behind. I screamed, but it was just Jonathan, giving me a huge hug. He said they were looking all over the place for me. I described the clown to the owners, but no one that worked for them matched that description. An older woman working one of the attractions pulled me aside. She said, "You saw Abner." Not that many people working here now remember the story, and the ones that do don't like to discuss it much. He was one of the main clowns here back in the 60s. His wife traveled with him. He caught her cheating with one of the townies, and one night, after the man left, Abner lit their camper on fire, killing her and himself in the process. I asked her what his wife's name was. She replied, her name was Abigail. I got dizzy and almost fell. When we made it back to my car, on top of the antenna was a red clown nose. Submit your stories to eeriefiles. Submit@gmail.com. Maybe next time, the story will be yours. Like and subscribe, and follow us for more.